And we have a key Republican senator in studio to debrief midway through his time in Austin.
This is Lone Star Politics from NBC5 and the Dallas Morning News.
Here for a debrief on where things stand and some of his priority bills, Flower Mound Republican Senator Tan Parker. He's also the Republican caucus chair in the Texas Senate. Senator Parker, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. What an honor to be with both of you.
Let's first talk about your Senate Bill 1698. This is when it deals with vapes, e-cigarettes. It creates somewhat of a directory, right, with the comptroller's office, so people have to register their products and where they're selling them. And why is that?
That's exactly correct. Look, this is all about protecting our children, first and foremost, right? There's nothing more important, no asset more important to Texas than protecting our precious kids. And so what's going on with the number of unregulated vapes that are literally harming our children in very large numbers, the number of kids across Texas that are hospitalized, kids are dying because of these unregulated and illegal vapes, most of which are coming from China. And they're really, once we, you try to remove one, what happens is then they come back with another name immediately. And so we need this directory so that every retailer that wants to do the right thing can know specifically those that are authorized and regulated, that we actually know what the ingredients are. The majority of these, we have no idea what the ingredients are when they're illegal coming from China. And they disguise them as if they're toys for kids or video games. I mean, it's unbelievable, really, what's happening.
And where was the tipping point for you on this? Because vapes have been around for a decade or more. Has it just gotten out of hand?
It's gotten out of hand, in particular, all the social media promotion, all the targeting of our children. Like I said, when you see this content, you look at these devices, and they literally look like video games or toys or what have you, and they're coming all kinds of flavors, bubble gum, and things that are attractive to children, not just teenagers, but even younger children. You just realize the problem is growing, and it's an epidemic, and we have so many kids that have been harmed by them, that have been hospitalized, kids that have died tragically over this. And so I just want families to know what's going on. The Senate takes the issue seriously.
And what is the best way that this regulation will get bad actors to stop or get them off the market? I mean, how...
Yeah.
Give me like an example.
Let me give you an example. So if you're a retailer and you go and you disregard this new directory, that's going to tell you who you can buy from, who's legitimate and who's not, okay, because they have an FDA clearance effectively. If you decide to go forward with a product on your shelves of your retailer that's not approved, well, there's going to be very very firm financial penalties associated with that, Grummer, right? I mean, every time we see that, there'll be a first-time infraction, there'll be a penalty. A second-time infraction, it'll dramatically ratchet up. So again, look, I want retailers to be successful. I know it's hard to manage a business, but they need to go to this directory, which will be the source, if you're a Texas retailer, to know what's an appropriate vape for sale and what's not.
What's the mood in the Senate on some of these issues? From the outside looking in, you have this issue, THC, lottery, gambling. There seems to be more of a desire to kind of get a handle on some of these, my words, I'll say vices or something. What's going on there?
Well, I think it's a great question. We are focused on protecting our children, period. End of story. For an adult to do something, at 21 and over, that's their choice. But for children and the fact that these things are being marketed to children, we just think it's unacceptable. And so be it this vape bill that I have to go and address these unauthorized dirty vapes, so to speak, that are, again, we don't know what the contents are. I can't stress that enough. Or whether or not we're talking about THC, or just the other day, frankly, 48 hours ago, we passed on a bipartisan basis in the Senate a bill that really will require greater enforcement and equipment to make sure that folks who are going to buy alcohol are 21.
Really?
And so we're doing these things broadly. All these bills are interconnected, that we just care about protecting our children.
Speaking about THC, you heard the Lieutenant Governor's threat of pushing for a special session. Where are you? You think the houses will come together, both branches, and end get things done, pass all the bills, or not.
Grummer, look, I'm an optimist. I think we will come together. I think we'll come together on what the governor talked about today with THC, because it's about protecting children, just like this vape issue is, just like what we did with Senator Royce West's bill 2 days ago. It's about protecting children. And then on the other big issues, be it school choice or what have you, yes, I think both chambers will be able to come together and resolve these big issues, and I think we'll be able to, I think, avoid a special session. I think we'll be able to get our business done inside 140 days.
And besides, the philosophy, it wasn't that long ago Republicans took a little more hands-off approach on some of these issues. Do you think that just with more evidence, your opinions change on some of this stuff?
Well, I just think that these organizations, there's some bad actors out there, guys, and they're more aggressive than ever than marketing to children. When I hear about kids in kindergarten and first grade getting access to vapes, and vapes that are illegal, just generally for a 21-year-old or above, that are coming from a place like China that we don't know what the contents are, that's a huge problem, and we've got to stop it. And because they are deliberately marketing towards these children, the social media campaigns and everything else, and that's what we're trying to address.
Senator Tan Parker, thanks for being here this morning.
Well, what an honor. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much.